is not to be able to appreciate the damage that the resort to card readers has done to election readers. Truth is, and this is something that you can compare, when we conducted the election in Anambra State, an isolated election, no governor secured 400,000 votes. And anyone who is familiar with the realities of Rivers State knows that if you conduct a free and fair election and you deny Pelewinko to come out and vote and return to the grave, it is impossible for them to get more than 500,000 votes. And yet, you recall, and I asked you to review your previous editorials and reports, where you had 99.9 voters turning up in Rivers State before the advent of card readers. Now, that is not possible now. The same thing goes for Delta State, where when they finish counting the votes in Delta and Delta Central, by the time you go to the riverine area, that is where they throw out magical votes that always upset the actual and distort the actual voting pattern. So I think rather than Atiku thinking that rigging has come to stay, and he can't understand why the numbers don't add up in the absence of massive rigging, I think he just needs to be reminded that the essence of the collective effort that has been made and the intervention of all those I can describe as genuine friends of Nigeria has been to try to improve the electoral process so that rigging can be eliminated or at least reduced to tolerable level. Now, I speak how we were rigged out in Akwa Ibom State. And it's interesting that it is PDP that is complaining about the outcome of election in Akwa Ibom State. How do you explain that INEC cancelled so many units, not only in Akwa Ibom State, in several other states, in order to be able to declare PDP candidates as winners? That is how Senator Akpabio was rigged out in Akwa Ibom. I want commenting on is that I want to remind us that when the Peace Committee under the leadership of General Abdusalam Abubakar invited political parties to commit themselves to peace and to accepting the outcome of the result, you will recall that PDP and their candidate Atiku Abubakar were conspicuously absent at the first meeting. Of course, following public outcry and suspicion and other pressure from their friends, they reluctantly went in and signed and paid their signature to the peace accord at the office of General Abubakar rather than where it was meant to take place. So from day one, Atiku made up his mind that unless he wins, the election is not free and fair. It is only free and fair if he is returned as a candidate. Now we ask the question, what is the value of the peace accord? It took us a lot of time. We were supposed to have gone out that day for campaign, but because of our commitment to peace and indeed to reassure Nigerians and to give people the comfort that they need, that we are not about to go to war. We are about to celebrate democracy. There is no need for anybody to be afraid. We participated fully in those peace efforts. And I'm glad that the elections have been largely peaceful. Of course, watching Atiku Abubakar yesterday, he alleged that the stock market crashed or lost about 85 billion naira in value, just on hearing that President Muhammad Buhari has lost the election, has won the election. Now, that is twisting the facts upside down. Many believe he has already collected deposit. And so if those depositors, now seeing that it cannot be business as usual, decide to take their flight, we wish them, we don't even want them to come back. He is pleading with them, we are saying, let them remain where they are. There are also people, when Atiku promised that he was going to float the Naira, we promised he was going to float the Naira. Those who play on hot money, who just do transactions and make way through paper transactions. Of course, on hearing that President Buhari has been re-elected, who does not believe that the Naira should be floated, and not for the first time, and foreign interests to have it removed as head of state. So his commitment to defending the Naira, his commitment to that the 43 items that are replaced on ban will remain in force, and his commitment to ensuring that Nigeria consumes what is produced in Nigeria and work consciously to eliminate importation of things that we don't need. Obviously, those who were waiting in the wing for an Atiku free market regime, for them to turn Nigeria to Kalu economy, obviously they must take their part. We need soft-hearted investors. We need genuine investors who have faith in our country and who have long-term interest in our country. We want people who will invest in real production, who will invest in labor-intensive industry, not those who have financial system and play on our foreign exchange regime to make money without a business address. If these are the kind of businessmen I think we're talking about, the genuine Nigerians who are victims of this manipulation of financial policy of our foreign exchange regime and so on and so forth, I mean, we cannot but open the skies, let them fly back, and they should never return. But I believe that the genuine investors who have businesses in Nigeria, who have genuine business address, who know the huge market potential, a market of about 200 million people, genuine service providers, genuine manufacturers, cannot or look forward to coming to Nigeria to take advantage of our huge market. But I think it's also borders of arrogance for Atiku Abubakar to suggest that our future is tied to his presidency. Atiku is destined never to be president of Nigeria. And I ask you to review his character, because I keep speaking about character during the election. Leadership is about character. Atiku's desperation is so obvious, so desperate that in 2003, it is on record, he challenged his own boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, not to do a second term. And in the end, they fought naked at Wuse Market. Subsequently, Atiku began to join ACN. I was in ACN then. We offered him the ticket. Like Father Mbaka will say, he became like a big bird, like a vulture that couldn't fly. And he lost that election. Once he lost, he returned back to PDP. He contested again the primaries against, I believe, for Jonathan. Also, right. And he lost the nomination. Because he has only his secrets in mind, he decamped again from PDP and returned to APC. He joined us in Lagos, rolled out the dollars, and President Muhammad to say to APC people, myself inclusive, I have no dollars to give. I do not have Intel or Itel. I do not have foreign account. And even if I have, I will not give. All I offer is all my heart. The APC guys who couldn't resist Atiku dollars collected those dollars and voted for Buhari. Once he lost the nomination and he did his calculation and realized that it's highly improbable that he will be able to defeat President Muhammad Buhari in our primaries, he engaged to flight and went back to PDP. Can you recount how many times he has camped, decamped, Now, such a political rolling stone, does it mean that Nigerians are so insane as to think that a man who is not stable, who has no conviction, whose secret is about himself, and who has confessed that he's going through this race, according to him, to enrich his friend, that would be a possible candidate to be elected at a time like this? And for all of you who are journalists, who monitor what happened in Port Harcourt, how Atiku Abubakar got the nation of PDP and created an offset for the traditional PDP people who had remained in PDP, come rain, come sun, come shine. You know how Atiku upsetted them by dollarizing the entire Port Harcourt community. I hear from those who have done return from Port Harcourt that the dollars are still spending there. So what is it that makes him have that sense of entitlement? A sense of entitlement that he must be president of Nigeria. Finally, I asked Nigerians to recognize that I had asked this question even when we were signing the peace accord. I said, you cannot possibly deny anyone the right to dispute the outcome of an election, however free and fair. But like myself, when I believe I was cheated out, I went to court. And I mobilized my evidence. I had the benefit of very resourceful lawyers and courageous judges, and my mandate was installed. I did not resort to violence. Even though anybody who knows me knows that all my life has been a life of struggle. I did not call out workers on strike to defend my mandate. All I did was to submit to the laws of Nigeria, which says if you doubt the outcome of an election or you are caused to dispute the outcome of an election, the only lawful way open to you is to. So we hope and we are looking forward to meet I like the Atiku Abubakar in court, and the fact will be labeled. But if I'm also near him, we might also choose to also cross petition, because there were many areas. Because in Adamawa State, he had already lost the election before he did some articulating magic that gave him that narrow victory in Adamawa State and in many other parts of in many other parts of the country. The last one that I think is interesting is that Atiku raised the issue. He asked rhetorically, how is it possible that in Borno or in the Northeast, given the level, the issue of insecurity and Boko Haram, how can we explain the turnout? Simple. During the 2015 election, President Jonathan, who was president of PDP platform, acknowledged that about 28 local governments were effectively under the control of Boko Haram, posting flag in those local government areas, and told the nation that it was impossible to conduct election in those local governments. But it is to the credit of President Muhammadu Buhari, and this we emphasized during the campaign, that all the 774 local government areas are currently fully under the control of the Nigerian Armed Forces, and the president is presiding over 774 local governments. So Atiku has to understand that those numbers are a reflection of the substantial improvement of the security situation in the Northeast. If he's not familiar with it, it's because he doesn't visit home too often. Those who live there know better. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, National Chairman, members of the National Working Committee, here present, I suppose you must have got enough of congratulations from the politicians. it is not in the place of the media to congratulate you, but to